I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Munster Shoals City Board of Education to order.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. I recommend the approval of the agenda as presented.
So we have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the agenda for tonight. Do I have a motion for that?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? No discussion, so we'll take a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there's none, so the agenda has been approved.
All right, Mr. President, tonight we are fortunate to have a presentation from Webster Elementary School. And so I'll recognize Principal Jason Simmons and Mr. Necklace, if you will, please. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. Saw that part at the end. Let's rock out ACAP. I'll let Dennis get there we go. I think they're going to have a program tomorrow, right, Mr. Simmons, 1:30?
We are going to have a little concert and a big pep rally for get ready for the ACAP, get everybody geared up. We start that next week on Tuesday, so we're trying to generate some excitement, put a lot of work into getting ready.
And they decorated the hallway. Tell them a little bit about what all that is and why those things are out there.
Well, we decided to go with the music theme because that's kind of what most shows is known for. So they've incorporated our reading and standards down the hallway, and they've incorporated music with that. So we've got, in our classrooms, every year when you're reviewing, when you take the test in the classroom, you have to cover up everything on your walls, so there's no reminders. And it takes a lot of time to do that because, you know, an elementary classroom is designed with all the colors and everything have meaning. The things that we have in there, you know,
They're instructional.
they're very instructional. So we have to cover all that up. So we decided to take the hallways. We don't have to cover the hallways. So what you saw in the last part of the video, we are teaching to the last minute and using our hallways as instructional tools. And so we're going to keep those up. So every time we leave the hall, go to the bathroom, go to the lunchroom, we're talking down the hallway about the strategies and standards that we cover. So we're really excited, and hopefully we're going to see good test results.
And you're going to dress up as who tomorrow?
Let's keep that a secret.
I'll have pictures for you guys. I'll make sure you'll get pictures. Good deal. Thank you for that video presentation. Very good. Very good job. All right, under our business action items tonight for the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. For tonight's consent agenda, we have the minutes from the February 28th regular meeting, bills and accounts for February, the financial report for February, and those bank statements have been reconciled, as well as the textbook adoption for English language arts and career tech education that Dr. Woods presented on during the work session. Are there any items from the consent agenda that a board member wishes to vote on separately? Hearing none, Mr. President, I recommend approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. We have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for that?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? No discussion. Let's take a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there's none. So the consent agenda has been approved.
All right, thank you, sir. And the next item is item B, the personnel report, and I recommend.
Recommendation to approve the personnel report. Do I have a motion for that?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Thank you. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? No discussion. So we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There's none. So the personnel report has been approved.
All right, for the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following. Under retirement and or resignation, Angela Lucer, teacher, Howell Grace Preschool, effective June 1st. Dwight McGee, teacher, Muscle Shoals Middle School, effective June 1st. Kevin Montgomery, teacher, Webster Elementary School, effective June 1st. Mary Jo Sockwell, aide, Howell Grace Preschool STEM Lab, June 1st. Leanne Malone, extended day lead, resignation, effective March 18th. And Lori Shelton, Student Services Secretary, resignation effective May 16th. Under transfer and reassignments, Robin Garrett from Guidance Counselor at Muscle Shoals High School to Assistant Principal at Muscle Shoals High School, effective June 1st. John Thompson from ISS Alternative School Teacher at the high school to PE Teacher at Webster, effective June 1st. Under employment, Regina Hawkins, Secretary to Student Services at the Central Office, effective May 17th. Zachary O'Brien, Assistant Band Director, Muscle Shoals High School, effective June 1st. Under other part-time special appointments or supplemental, and then nurse substitutes as well, we have some additions to our Community Education Extended Day program. Also, some additional help for the middle school summer instruction for 2002, 3 individuals who will be helping with that. Assistant track coach for the 2022 track season, additional assistance, Lavera Bates, that'll be paid from track funds. And then this is for information only, not for board action. Leave of absence, Kathy Eldridge, this is an extension for a current catastrophic leave that she's already on. And then Rachel Hunter, McBride Elementary teacher, effective approximately May 18th through May 26th, but flexible with medical needs. Also, just making you aware that one of our groundskeepers, Anthony Olivas, was a temporary groundskeeper. He has resigned effective March 11th. And then Kelly's staffing update, young man Chandler Hawkins is filling a 6th grade leave for the remainder of the school year at the middle school. And I believe that was it on the personnel report. All right. Next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. And let me just begin by saying with a few comments about the situation from this morning. As we talked a little bit in the work session, it's not really the way that I think we all hope to begin our day. Things quickly turned serious at McBride early this morning, just before 8 o'clock. We had a report of a possible student with a firearm that unfortunately turned out to be true. And the administrators and the teachers and the SRO handled the situation beautifully in placing both McBride and the middle school on lockdown. And I contacted Dr. Davis at the high school, asked him to place the high school and the Career Academy on a precautionary lockdown until we had diffused the situation, since those campuses were within walking distance of McBride. But I just can't say enough good things about the police department, their response, the SRO, his response, the administrators and the school staff, and just executed our safety plans as we routinely review them every year. And of course, we hold drills every month. But you know, a drill and a real situation are very different. And when those things get real, you respond differently. That's why we have these safety drills, and that's why we practice them so many times. But I have to say that there's some students at McBride also that are heroes today, because they did what we ask kids to do. If you see something, say something. And these 2 students did, and it was because they decided to tell an adult that this situation didn't turn out to be worse than it was. And so I appreciate that. I hope to get over there tomorrow or maybe next week, and I want to personally tell those students that myself. But you know, we'll have a time of reflection now. Dr. Schneider and Ms. Ritter and Dr. Davis, we've all kind of talked a little bit, just because it did affect their campuses some today. And we've already done some of that reflection. I know Dr. Schneider and Ms. Ritter have both had faculty meetings this afternoon where they have met with the employees and reflected, you know, what worked well, what didn't, and what do we need to learn from this? How would we respond if this happened again? And so those conversations have already started. We're going to continue those tomorrow, and you know, it's, you know, we'll reflect and we'll adjust our plans so that next time, hopefully there's not one, but if there is another emergency situation, we'll respond even better than we did today. Any board member want to comment on the situation today? I know it's kind of a different circumstance that we're used to talking about in here.
I'd like to say a few things on behalf of the board as a whole. First of all, thank you to the teachers and the administrators and the resource officers. It is unfortunate that we live in a time now where you have to drill on these types of things. But that's the time we live in. And, it takes everybody. When I, looking and hearing the reports, I look at the situation and I see like everybody fulfilled their responsibility, like completely and totally the way that they were supposed to do. Even we talk to the students about report things that you see, and the student knew immediately who to go to. And then the resource officer does his job, and then the administrators do their job, and the classroom teachers do their job. And everybody is working together, doing the things that they're trained and drilled to do. And to me, it just shows what a fantastic staff that we have and how much everybody cares about doing their job and doing it well. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate and it's a sad situation, but it does make me proud of our school system, and proud of our teachers So thank you to everybody that was involved on, behalf of a board member, the board as a whole, and as a parent, that has kids in the school system. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Wood, for those comments. All right, let's move on to a little bit of happier topic. How about that? Our band did an outstanding job at the annual music performance assessment. For those who may not be aware, MPA is the big performance for our concert bands in the spring, and it's just a testament to their knowledge and their skill level. And all three of our bands, the 7th and 8th grade, the symphonic, and the wind ensemble, received superior ratings and just wonderful comments from the judges that day. So I appreciate the work that they do. Also want to congratulate Miss Hannah Bradford and the Impulse Show Choir for their outstanding performance in Orlando, Florida. You may have seen some of that on social media. They not only took home the first place gold award, but they received the Adjudicator's Choice Award for having a score of 95 or better. And I think they may have been the only show choir to get that. So that was outstanding and exciting for them. The high school chorus and the high school women's chorus ensemble also competed in the annual state choral assessment competition at the University of North Alabama on March the 2nd. And they received one of the highest scores of the day and just a superior rating in sight reading and a standing ovation for their women's ensemble selections. And then also Mr. Peter Wilder, choral teacher at the middle school in McBride, invites you to a presentation of The Little Mermaid Junior with 3 opportunities. And I've already seen parts of the matinees, and I think Dr. Woods has seen almost all of it. So, but that will be April the 1st through the 2nd at 6:30, and then on April the 3rd at 2:30. It's a really neat show with those little ones, seeing them. We've had the music programs from elementary up for a long time, but bringing in that acting and the musical aspect of it and seeing some of those as young as they are taking on those big roles, it's pretty exciting stuff. So there's so many more things that I could share with you about our fine arts programs. That's just a little piece of it, but obviously it's a lot of things going on there that are very positive, and we're excited about it. So with that, Mr. President, that's all I have on my report tonight.
All right. Well, since he has concluded his superintendent report, we are at the end of our agenda for tonight. Is there any other board member that wishes to have any business or anything that we did not cover? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, sir.